X-TRA. All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Metal Hammer of Doom Extra. And this week, we're bringing you some extra content, some extra videos to either sync up and watch along with us if you're listening to just the audio, or hop on the YouTube channel and watch along as we discuss what's happening before our very eyes. And, of course, with me, none other than the patriarch of the Radulich Broadcasting Network. His name is Mark Radulich. Mark, what are we doing this week to get prepared, and what is upcoming on the Metal Hammer of Doom?
Well, this is Everybody Hates Star Wars week. It used to just be Star Wars week, but Star Wars is quickly becoming the DCEU in terms of fan reaction. I don't know if you've been following the reactions to Solo, but it ain't good.
It's really like I've been getting a mixed bag on my feed. We all have our own personal news feed on Facebook and Twitter, but I've kind of seen some more positive than I've seen negative. But yes, everybody seems to have an opinion nowadays.
Yeah, between The Last Jedi and Solo, and really just everything since Disney has bought Lucasfilm, it's been 1 week since you looked at me. I can't not do that.
It's impossible.
It really has been, if I could sum it up in very few words, a battle between what the studio thinks the fans want and what the fans want. And there's this disconnect. And that disconnect is breeding a lot of negative feedback. You know, the Marvel Cinematic Universe has more wins than losses, and even when they put out just kind of a mediocre product, everyone goes, yeah, okay, but it's fine. The DCEU's had a ton of negative press, and I feel like the same thing is now happening with Lucasfilm, where they can't seem to find the Marvel formula for success, to where even their not so great stuff still gets met with mostly positive reactions. Every time a new Lucasfilm film comes out, it just breeds contempt to the point where this isn't fun for me anymore. Like, as a huge Star Wars fan, I tend to react more positively than negatively. I enjoyed The Last Jedi. I enjoyed Rogue One. The Force Awakens was kind of a fun reboot of the whole franchise. And spoilers, I liked Solo. I thought it was fine. I don't expect this life-changing experience with every Lucasfilm. I'm not 5. You know, I'm not going to walk into these films and have this life-changing sense of wonder that I think everyone seems to want, to, like this religious experience, if you will.
Yeah.
Whenever they watch a Star Wars film, it's not going to happen. The exclusivity that was built into this franchise from 20 years ago is gone. The expectations, though, haven't lowered at all. And if anything, it's gotten higher, to where I almost feel like people are living horrible lives, but they expect to go into a theater and watch a Star Wars film and expect it to instantly change their life. And when it doesn't, it's just a movie. You know, some of it works, some of it doesn't. That's kind of movies now. You get the rare one where everything works, and the less rare, nothing works. But like, you can't just go into a Star Wars movie now and kind of have a fun time and then go home and go about your business. If it doesn't hit all marks across the board and isn't a life-changing experience, then it sucks.
Yeah.
Or better yet, if it doesn't meet your individual expectation. If you, Jesse Starcher, didn't get everything you wanted out of that film, it's terrible. And as a studio, I don't know how you deal with that, other than maybe want to strangle all of your fans, which I was listening to someone do a video reaction to how Lucasfilm has handled the fans, and they were commenting about how it's been piss poor. Again, I think the DC Cinematic Universe had a similar thing. Certainly Sony did with their reactions to Ghostbusters. It's kind of like, studio says we're going to do this. Fans react poorly. Studios get mad at fans.
Oh, yeah.
And then it just becomes this constant antagonism of each other, to where the movie-going experience no longer seems fun. It seems almost like you're dealing with politics.
Mm-hmm.
Yuck. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So we're here to bring back some fun. The Radulich Broadcasting Network sees where we're going, and it's like, hey, Star Wars is still a fun thing. It's not a religious experience. It's not going to be a life-changing experience, but can we have some fun with this, Jesse Starcher? Can we have a little fun?
I think we can. We're entitled.
Can we have some fun, Jonas?
Yeah.
What?
No, what?
What? Do you have fun with Star Wars?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
How did the kids' reaction go to Star Wars?
Well, Lily tapped out 5 minutes into The Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, she's sad.
So she made it through A New Hope, but 5 minutes into The Empire Strikes Back, she was just like, "Hey, maybe we can stretch these out over days instead of hours." And I'm like, "All right, we're done here." Come here, stand up and come close to me. What did you think of yesterday's Star Wars movie? You got to be a little bit louder.
I liked it.
What did you like about it?
When they met R2D2 and C-3PO.
Yeah,
Okay.
the robots.
What was the thing you liked least about it?
The part I didn't like was, I don't know.
Okay. Are you excited to watch another one, or you're like, if Daddy wants to? All right, go away.
The franchise has failed.
The franchise has failed. And my son didn't really watch. He spent the entire time on his tablet. Occasionally, he turned around and goes, "When's Darth Vader coming on?"
I don't know I don't know if it's just the way our kids are conditioned to have something bang, 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 bang right on the screen every time, or if it just takes, and maybe it's a certain age that you reach in order for you to be able to sit through a film and understand what's going on. We tried to watch Ant-Man a couple days ago, and there was a point where 10 minutes passed, and I looked at my daughter. I said, did you know what they just said? Do you know what they just talked about?
Let me just say to that, I don't know. This might sound like blasphemy. Bless for you, bless for me, bless for everybody in the world. So Eddie is a joke for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Reference. Just Mindy, put it on a t-shirt. We just need a shirt that says reference. And then the back says, "Shout out to you, guy." Anyway, I'm not sure if A New Hope really holds up anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, shots fired. I watched it kind of critically with my daughter, and I turned off my nostalgia glasses. I turned off all of the positive feelings Star Wars has given me through the years, all the memories, all my attachments to it. I'm just like, I want to watch this with her eyes, okay? And I'm like, and outside of once they're done with the boarding of the Carillion cruiser, I think it's called, the ship that Princess Leia is in.
Yeah.
As a Star Wars fan, I know it has a name. And I can't remember what the name of it is. But once Darth Vader shoots up and the Stormtroopers shoot up all the rebels, there's a patch of the movie between, from where the droids escape with the plans to where you meet Luke, where the movie just dies. If you watch it kind of putting yourself in the mode of, this is a movie made in the 70s where not everything is as frenetic, it's fine. But if you're watching it sort of through the modern guise of everything has to be the Fast and the Furious, it's just dead right there in the middle. Yep. And I'm not surprised my daughter started to lose interest, at that until it starts to pick up again later on. Because I mean, like I said, it's one of those where you really do have to pay attention, and the movie's kind of quiet, and you're just following what happens to these two droids, and unless you're really attached to them, who cares? So it's this movie does this weird dip in action, and then it starts to pick, and then even with Luke, it's still slow. You're still here's a boy on a farm, and you were getting to know him, and then it little by little it starts to pick up, and then boom, they kill his family, and we're off to the races. Mm-hmm. Then it's Mos Eisley's, then it's the escape, and then they go to the Death Star, and then it's action with very little slow beats. But yeah, it's a weirdly paced movie. I'm not trying to take anything away from it, but I can't help but notice that, they've said that A New Hope was saved in editing, and it feels that way. Knowing that now, when watching it, I'm like, yeah, this is somebody trying to piece together the footage they shot and keep the story going as best they can with what they've got. And I can definitely, reading the Star Wars, it was a year or two ago, you can definitely see where Lucas's vision was versus what he was able to accomplish and the gaps in between. Mm-hmm. And I think the other thing that really spoke to me while watching it was, the fun thing about Star Wars is that's Lucas sort of opening up the door and letting you into his imagination. But his imagination's kind of wacky and out there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, as we've seen.
Yeah. I love you, Punch. But you know what I'm saying? I can see where like he feels like the kind of kid who's like, in the middle of the room and he's telling you this weird and out there story, and you're like, yeah, I don't get any of what you're saying. It's, I've said it before. Lucas needs editing.
Oh my goodness.
But a lot of sort of unfiltered Lucas does come out in the film.
I just want to real quick throw this out there, and then we'll get to the video.
Half an hour ago, you asked me what we were going to watch today.
one of the most inflammatory tweets that I've heard in regards, we're synergizing with the release of Solo. So people are on Twitter and Facebook are lighting up about their reactions to it. But one of the most inflammatory tweets that I saw was from a comedian by the name of Scott Ackerman. You ever heard of this guy?
The name sounds familiar.
Comedy Bang Bang, something like that. Anyway, so he puts out a tweet and it says as follows: Star Wars films, A New Hope. He's ranking them 1 to 10. Here we go. A New Hope, The Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, The Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, number 5, Revenge of the Sith, number 6, The Force Awakens, number 7, Rogue One, number 8, The Last Jedi, number 9, and Solo, number 10. All right? And that's all the tweet says. And I said ranking them. Now, when I say ranking them, okay, people look at this one tweet in this one list, and there is 2,651 comments on it. Mark, did you pick up a pattern as I was going down from 1 to 10 there?
Yeah, that as the series has moved on, he's liked them less and less.
No, they're in chronological order. He never said a damn word about how much he liked the films.
Oh, okay.
And people lit this guy up. Like, how could you like this? How could you put Phantom Menace at number 4? And people were just going off.
I honestly thought that when you pitched that, I thought that the guy was ranking them.
Yeah, he was ranking them in chronological order. That's how he did it. He wasn't ranking them based on how much he liked it. But because Star Wars fans are so passionate where these films belong and what order or how they like them, they immediately thought that he was putting an opinion out there on what they were and not looking at the actual fact that he was listing them. And you'll see the years actually in the tweet. He would say A New Hope, 1977. And he was going down. He actually had the years they were released as they were going down the list. And people were like, they would tweet him and he would put out this like real matter of fact answer. Like how could you put, how could you put number 4 Phantom Menace at number 4? He's like, well, it just felt right. So anyway, even Ryan Johnson got in on it and said that he goes, I usually don't weigh on things like this, but I have to agree.
Tune in Wednesday for the Metal Hammer of Doom on the Radulich and Broadcasting Network.